Welcome back everyone, got another video for you today. Today it will be the Olight H2R Nova, and this one is about $90 from Olight. I was reluctant to pay that, and then they had a flash sale, so it was 30–40% off. So I'm like, okay, well I'll buy it now that it's cheaper. So I went ahead and bought it, and get the gratuitous box shot here. This is a single 18650 light that looks like it's designed to be both a headlamp and just a right angle flashlight there. So you can see next to it here we've got an included battery. This did come with the light, 3000 milliamp, 3.6 volt 18650. It is Olight branded. Got the light itself. Got a couple of pads in here. This is goes along with the headband. The headband is a two strap design over the head. We'll get to that in a second. And the typical Olight USB-A proprietary charger. So you've got the USB-A tip there. I haven't used this one because I've got a couple others from the other Olights, and it just goes on there. Plug that into your USB. That'll light up red when it's charging, and it will be green when it's done charging. And if you have the desktop dock from like the S30R or whatever that light is, this will charge on that light, or on that dock there. And then of course the instructions, and then some little Olight propaganda card. And let me put the battery in here. And remember, Olights don't go in button first, they go in tail first. So when you get your Olights, remember that. So that goes in there, and this is where this is how it charges through there. And you can see there's a little thing on there now. It says do not short circuit up here at the top. I haven't tried it, but I've heard that you connect your positive and negative, it completes the circuit. I've heard that you can actually burn stuff with it, not necessarily start a fire, but I've heard rumors that somebody was able to start a fire using steel wool and an Olight flashlight there of some kind. So this is a right angle light, so it's not a side switch light in this case. The switch is on the end. The tail cap is magnetic, 1.5 meter, impact resistant, IPX8, so it should be submersible in water. They're saying 4.33 inches long and 0.98 diameter, so that's 110 millimeters by 25 millimeters and weighs 3.53 ounces. That's including the battery. So I'll get rid of the stuff we don't need here. So the strap, we'll get into that real quick. It just goes in there, and it's just got a little silicone rubber, whatever it is. So there's no built-in rotation. You can kind of turn it in there. If you're worried about wearing it out, you can just open it up and turn it if you want to point it more up, down, whatever, and do it that way. The band itself, I didn't have a chance to, when I could remember, to actually like take it to the gym or go for a long walk with it or anything. And I don't know if you heard that or noticed that. This is magnetic too. There's a magnet in there. Oh, that's right. That's what the little pads are for. So you can actually pull this back, and you see the pad in there. You can pull that out and then pull the magnet out, and then you use these to take the place of the magnet. So I don't know that I really need the magnet in there, but it wasn't bothering me. I mean, it's not super strong. It will hold it, but I wouldn't like that. It holds it fairly securely, but it's not secure enough that I'm going to worry about it. This thing adjusts really big. The biggest setting was bigger than my head. I don't have a giant head, but it's not small either. So what I did do was I had a bunch of chores to do around the house, so I went ahead and put it on. And if you're going to look like a big dork, at least you can do it in the privacy of your own home. So I was in there scrubbing the bathtub and mopping floors and stuff like that, and just general housework, and didn't have any problems. It wasn't shifting around. Top strap really helps hold the weight. I found it to be comfortable. I could not wear it all the way down on my forehead. It started giving me a headache, but once I moved it up a little bit and just changed the angle of the light, it was fine. So the light itself, typical Olight workings, hold it down and you got Moonlight. From off, hold it down and you got Moonlight, then hold it down and it cycles through your modes. up to high, and if you want turbo, double click, and even on camera you can see that's a lot more light there. And then if you want strobe, was it 3? Yeah, but see, this one doesn't have strobe. It has an SOS though. So I don't know. I've used strobe. If it's there and it's convenient, I'll use it. But if I think I'm going to need strobe, I'll just I'll get a light that has a tail switch or strobe. So as far as the reflector goes, I can't tell you if the reflector is smooth or not, but the lens is not. The lens is kind of got its own little orange peel-like thing going. So what happens is you don't have a clearly defined hot spot. If you look at the beam when it's hitting something, you can tell that it is a little bit brighter in the middle, but it's not any type of focused, very well-defined hot spot. It's very much like kind of a wider area. I'm not sure I'd call it a floodlight because it's not entirely evenly distributed, but it does a really good job. So if looking at it from, say, hiking, if you're the lead, like this would be good, especially if you're the only person in your group prepared and bothered to bring a decent light with you. It'll be good because if you have to spread out, it'll light up the whole area. And of course, if you're doing something like biking or you know, even just running at night, you've got stuff that runs out from the side of the road and into the road. You know, you got out here we got wild burros that like to wander out into the road. It doesn't happen a lot, and it's not the main city, but they're out there. And then of course, a lot of places you got deer, coyote. You know, even a large jackrabbit can mess up some cars. So it's pretty nice to have something that can not just help you, but if you're with one of those groups of people that just refuses to be even mildly prepared, you can really help them out with something like this. So I did wear it as a headband, like I said, for a little bit, but primarily I just carried it as a light. You put it on one place and you can use it from to clip on the bezel up, bezel down on most lights. I guess it's still bezel up, bezel down, it's just not directly pointing. But you can see if you want bezel up, you just clip it from this side under it, and then if you want bezel down, you can clip it from this side. I still have this guy laying around. This is one of the Olight branded holsters for the S2 and the S30. You can see it fits pretty nicely in there, man. And because the button doesn't protrude, there's really not much danger of accidental activations with it. It can happen. It can happen, sure. But, I mean, the button doesn't really protrude at all. So it really wasn't that big of a deal. Of course, that might make you worry about your bezel, about your lens. You could turn it like that. Every time I did it turned, but I think I had the pocket clip on there when I was doing it too. So I bet you without the pocket clip, I bet you it'd be fine. But, so you can see that took a little oomph to take the pocket clip off there. But there is a little bit of space at the top. That's the only thing I really don't like about the Olight ones. But you can put it all the way down and the Velcro still catches, but you're running pretty close to the end of the Velcro there. It's not right there. It's got the little D-ring thing. But yeah, that's gonna get sidetracked talking about the holster again. So it fits in there nicely. If you have one of those, that's another option to carry it. And when I'm at work, I don't mind wearing something on my belt like that, but outside of work I really don't like to. So as far as drop testing and waterproofing, you can see right there, that's about 3 to 4 feet up off the ground, straight onto concrete. And that's all it did to it, was that little bit right there, and then that one's small. Yeah, you can see it right there. And that's all it did, man. 3-4 feet on directly onto concrete. So just to shorten it up a little bit, I'm going to skip the drop testing and just go straight to waterproof. Okay, so we just finished our waterproof testing. Flashlight stayed powered on the whole time. Make sure we got the button dried off. Make sure the area around the tail cap is dried off. Alright, so we're dry. Make sure it cycles. Okay. Turbo. off. Check Moonlight out. Okay, it looks like the whatever little magic is inside is still intact. Take the back off real quick and check out the cap and the battery. I don't see any moisture in there. Battery. No, I don't see anything. Looks dry. What do you think? You see anything in there? I don't see anything in there. A little dark, but it still works. So, alright. Yeah, we'll take the tail cap off. This one is not rated dust proof. You know what? I didn't clean the threads. So I carried this like a week and a half, 2 weeks. And there was, I guess it moved around a little bit, down like right around here. And then, yeah, I could see a couple pieces of dust in that, in between the O-ring and that first gap between the O-ring and the first thread there. But for being not dust proof rated, that's pretty good. $90 if you got the money, if you need something that will light up a wide area in front of you but not quite flood, a little bit more intense in the middle. This is a good buy, especially considering it's got a very good comfortable headband. I wouldn't pay $90 for it still, but for the price I paid with that flash sale, it was 30-40% off. I feel for that price it was a good buy. It's not that the light isn't worth it, it's just that I personally didn't need a headlamp that bright. So I wouldn't be willing to pay that for myself. But you know, if you do hiking and that, like it would probably be a good investment, especially have a good rechargeable one like this with the newer USB battery power banks that are out with a higher output, so it can actually charge this thing up a little bit for you. So if you found the video useful at all, go ahead and consider subscribing. Please give me a thumbs up there. And if you have any questions, as always, go ahead and drop them in the comments and I will get back to you.